Hello, people of the internet, and welcome to this week's episode of Nerdzone. Now, I tried doing this like 3 times, but one was too long, one I forgot to film the other part, and it just didn't work. And that lighting is terrible. Oh man. Let's go from here. And feel chill. And put my glasses up so I don't see shadow. Yes. So, today we are going to talk about Middle Earth. Now, Middle Earth is one of my favorite things in all over the world, and I don't have the book on me right now, but or any of the books on me, but I currently own all of the main Tolkien masterpieces. And yes, we are talking about Tolkien's Middle Earth. If you didn't get the gift of Middle Earth, then and if you even if you don't like the books, then you surely must have watched the movies. And if you haven't watched the movies and you haven't read the book and you like reading and you actually enjoy descriptive writing, you will love Tolkien and you will love Peter Jackson's interpretation of the Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit. So this is what we're talking about. Now there's another piece of the puzzle that we may not associate because it's not so common and it doesn't house our favorite characters like Bilbo or Frodo or Samwise Gamgee or Thranduil or Gandalf. It may actually help Gandalf, I'm not sure. But if you want to learn about the family tree and find out that Galadriel is Arwen's grandmother, so Elrond married Galadriel's daughter. Just gonna point that out there. That's the thing, okay? But the piece of the puzzle that most people don't associate with or don't know about, not associate but don't know about, is the Silmarillion, which is kind of has the creation story in it, and also kind of just is got another story to it. It's kind of basically the setup of Middle Earth. I haven't really read it myself. I have to read it. I'm just reading a different book at the moment, but I really want to read it based on just me talking about it and wanting to educate myself more in Tolkien's work because he's super inspiring, and Peter Jackson's work as well is truly inspiring as well. So I'm trying to make this shorter than my first attempt, but kind of have all the information. Now I don't have the questions on me that I used in my last video because my iPod died and I don't have those questions. So okay, I'll just give you a rundown of what Middle Earth is. Middle Earth is a kind of like fantasy realm type thing that is basically kind of like Earth in a sense, but it has all different places. You probably have heard of Middle Earth, and if you haven't, then it's an amazing little world. Middle Earth was created by Tolkien. J.R.R. Tolkien, who was an amazing writer in, I think, the 1900s and late 1900s, I believe. I can't remember, but I know it's in the 1900s. And I think it was maybe 1970 something. But he is an amazing author that has written several books, and Middle Earth is his creation, and our four main races that we have within Middle Earth is dwarves, elves, hobbits, and men, and then they're assisted by wizards, and there are a couple wizards, and they're part of an order. Henceforth, why Gandalf is Gandalf the Grey at the beginning of in the Hobbit and in the first bit of the Lord of the Rings. Although because of Saruman becoming evil and taking forces of Sauron, or joining Sauron's side, I should say, he is no longer the greatest wizard, and he is kind of kicked out in a way, although he remains wearing white, and a lot of people can confuse Gandalf the White with with Sauron in the book. Like, I think they thought that in the book or something. I don't know. It's where I'm at in the book, but they would think that Sauron was Gandalf or something because they both roamed around the same place. Yeah, I think. I could be making no sense, but anyways, but Gandalf really took over Sauron's place, and he became the head of the Order on Middle Earth. Although I believe most of the wizards left Middle Earth at the end of the Lord of the Rings, because the Lord of the Rings kind of ends the tale of Middle Earth, because elves are leaving, our favorite characters are leaving, and there's not really anything else to go on. And actually, it is the end of the books, because Tolkien didn't write anymore. I mean, he barely, like, he couldn't finish the Silmarillions because he died, and his son had to take over. But yeah, Middle Earth has one of the greatest adventures of all times. That is like I said, one of the greatest adventures of all times. It has a million, like, it's probably sold a million billions copies because it's such a popular book in North America, and probably in New Zealand as well, because that is where the movies took place. Actually, that's where the movies were filmed. And let's talk about the movies real quick. Before I get into the big details, this may go on a little bit longer of a video, just to warn you. But the movies, the Lord of the Rings movies came out before the Hobbit movies. I don't know why that is. Peter Jackson is the person who I think directed those movies. He did a phenomenal job on Lord of the Rings. I love the music in it. I love the actors, and the work that they took out. Like, they had to take out some parts, and they took out some parts just to make it shorter, because it is 3 books. And originally, actually, Tolkien wanted it all to be 1 book. But they wouldn't let him publish the Lord of the Rings as 1 book, so he had to have 3 separate books. And yeah, but Peter Jackson had to take out things to make it a little bit shorter and dense. And each movie is 3 hours long, and there are 3 of them. Like the books, we have Fellowship of the Ring, The Two Towers, and the Return of the King. And then there are 3 Hobbit movies about the same length, 3 hours long, which it shouldn't have been 3 because they added in extra content, which they had to take out some content, I think, from the actual Hobbit book, but they also added in more content than they should. For instance, I don't really mind this as much, but this is kind of like disappointing thing that Peter Jackson did. He added Legolas and this whole new elf. But why I don't really mind this is because the added Legolas and Teriel, they allowed Threnddle, which is one of the most beautiful elves I've ever seen in all of Middle Earth, have a lot of screen time. I mean, he had a big part in it, and he had a good part in the book as well. But you don't really have the Elf King described in the book, so that's another thing. The Elf King isn't really described, but he is well described in the movie because you can kind of tell movie logic, I guess. So they added things like the pale orc and stuff, but that all kind of makes sense in the end, because it gives an explanation of why he died, why Thorin died. And if you haven't actually watched it, this is big spoilers. But why Thorin died and why he got his name. I guess in a movie sense, it does make sense because when you're reading a book, you have to come up with all the you have most of the imagination power. You visualize your characters, you visualize the world you're in, and you kind of can control the sense. I don't know. But in a movie, you don't have it. You have to be very descriptive. You have to put faces to things. You have to create these characters, and you have to make it what it is. So my favorite thing about Middle Earth is just everything. So if I was going to look at Book of Middle Earth in general, I'd love how descriptive Tolkien is when he describes it. I'd love just everything that Tolkien does. I love the format of The Hobbit, and I love how that is written, and it's kind of told by Bilbo in a way, because in between you will see little brackets of him talking, and you wonder like who's talking, like it's an odd book, because you write the point of view, you say third person, but you have to look at those little pieces in between little sentences and stuff and throughout the book, and you think it may be also first person, so it's kind of confusing, but I love that about it, because it kind of shows that. And then when in the movie, when he's writing the book, it makes more sense when he reads the book, and it's kind of cool. So yeah, and The Lord of the Rings is a really descriptive book. A lot of people do, like, my friend doesn't like reading it, because will never read it, because she doesn't like, it's boring or something like that. I can't remember the word she used, but I'm like, it's a slow read, yes, but it's an amazing book, because it's so jam-packed with so much information, and you can learn so much about it, and you can say, oh, now the movies are just not as good. I mean, I love the movies, don't get me wrong, but the books are really amazing, and I love them more. What I'd rather do is probably read the book, because it's like, no electricity, I can read. Movie, yeah, that's a different story. But the music in the movie are really good. What I like about Middle-earth in the movies is that it's just an amazing atmosphere. The music kind of ties everything together, especially in The Lord of the Rings. I really, really like that as well. And also, the characters, the actors that they use really make the characters really stand out, and all the elves look so amazing as elves. Gandalf looks amazing as Gandalf, and all the hobbits look amazing. Like, their ability to make the smaller guys, because they had to bring in smaller people, shorter people. I don't want to be rude, because I don't know what they are, but shorter people to act out scenes for the hobbits, and in some cases the dwarves, like in the Hobbit. Yeah, like, is it called the Hobbit? I don't know. Yeah, it's called the Hobbit. So that's amazing. My favorite character in the Hobbit is Thorin Oakenshield. Now, this probably is like, why? He's such a jerk. He's just, but I really like him, and I mean, I loved how he changed from a sincere person to a greedy person who had no sense of anything. He was just brainwashed by the gold, to someone who actually cared and, like, wanted forgiveness from Frodo. And I cry every time he dies. Oh my gosh, I cannot stand that he dies. I do not like it. And if I were to put value to Thorin Oakenshield, he would be like my best friend. Honestly, I feel like Thorin Oakenshield would be my best friend. He is an amazing person. Oh my gosh. And in The Lord of the Rings, my favorite character of all time is Samwise Gamgee, because he is just so brave and so loyal and an awesome character. And a lot of times, I see myself in Samwise Gamgee. Although I'm not the bravest of people, I like to think that I'm loyal, but I don't know. But I kind of see myself in Samwise Gamgee, because I like making, like, gardens and growing potatoes, and yeah, I really like that kind of thing. And you know, I like cooking sometimes, and I really kind of sometimes make, like, associate myself with Samwise Gamgee. But because of this whole, like, I can't really act as a male character. If I were ever to be in the storyline, I'd want to be Rosie, because then I get to marry Samwise Gamgee, which is an awesome thing, and I love it. I actually love that. So, but if I could be whoever I wanted to be from that, and it wouldn't matter gender-wise, I would totally want to be Samwise Gamgee, because, you know, he's an awesome guy, and I mean, I love him. But because I'm a girl, I'd love to be Rosie. I mean, she's beautiful, and she's got a nice smile, and she marries Samwise Gamgee. There's nothing more to it. So, what else? There has to be more. Okay, what's my favorite book out of all of them? Well, I've read this book about 1 million times. Actually, that's a lie. I read it about, like, 4 times, and I just like I was reading through it. I'm like, because I'm trying to finish all of Lord of the Rings, right? And I was reading through the Fellowship of the Ring like for the 4th time in history, and I was like, I can't do this. I read this so often, I just can't read this. But my favorite one is the Fellowship of the Ring because it is amazing. My favorite book in general is the Lord of the Rings, but because I've only read Fellowship of the Ring, I cannot say Lord of the Rings as a total because I haven't read all of it. So that's my favorite one. And I am reading Silmarillion and the Two Towers. That's 2 when I'm reading. Yes, I'm reading both of them because I got Silmarillion recently, and I was like, I'm reading it. So yeah, I love those books so much, and they're amazing. And that's kind of it for this video, guys. And I hope you all enjoyed it. I hope you guys kind of enjoy this video and enjoy Skyrim. I hope you all enjoy Skyrim because I just did a video on Skyrim like last week. Yeah, no, I hope you all enjoy Tolkien's world of Middle Earth. I don't know why I'm being so dramatic. I don't know. I hope you all enjoy this video. And if you haven't watched or read or done anything to do with, haven't had anything to do with Middle Earth, then reach out and go to your library and take out the books. Read those books. And if you want, watch the movies as well. Although The Hobbit isn't canon, I'll just warn you, The Hobbit isn't canon, so don't take your opinion on the book based on the movie, because that's not canon. Read both. Like read and watch. Okay, that's the best ever. So that's it for this video, guys, and I hope you all enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.